All right, here we go again with the Young Turks. Hello, everybody. This is the John Filax Report. How you doing? I want to talk about two ladies getting pulled over by a Texas state trooper because they were flicking cigarettes out their window. He walked up to the car. He smelled weed, supposedly. He smelled marijuana. You know, the big criminal of smoking marijuana and possessing marijuana, the big crime. He smelled some marijuana. So he gets on the radio and he calls this lady police officer and says he needs her to search these two women. So he asks the woman, do you have any drugs? She says no. No this. Is there any in the car? Not that she knows of. Is there any on her person, in her underwear? She says no. And then she tells the cop, you're making me feel like a criminal. And then next thing you know, the lady police officer shows up and puts on some gloves and starts sticking her hand in the ass of the women. The asses, they're grabbing her boobs. And then they go in her ass, literally go in her ass, and then switch over to the front and go in the front, penetrating the women. She did this without changing gloves, and then she had both women, then she had the next woman come in, does the same thing to her, sticks her hand in her ass and in the front, penetrating both sides, and doesn't change gloves, and they found nothing. And so finally the TYT covers it, but they have to go after assault rifles, which has nothing to do with it. So I'm going to try to pick them apart as they talk. Here we go.
There are two women in Texas that are suing the Texas state troopers for a police stop that they went through, and apparently they went through a very humiliating body cavity search. So these two women were basically, doing a cross-country trip to Oklahoma, and they got stopped in Texas for allegedly throwing cigarette butts outside the car. So a Texas state trooper stops them. His name is State Trooper David Farrell.
Pig.
And here's what happens.
So I watched both of you throw cigarettes out on two separate occasions. I watched the cigarette go off the passenger side, and then a couple miles down the road, you threw a cigarette out.
Oh my God, you threw a cigarette out your window. I gotta impede your travel now.
Were you both smoking in the car?
He's got a fucking cowboy hat on like he's a fucking cowboy. You look like an idiot, dude.
1129 to 1134 on mobile. Hey, if you're 10-8, I might use your help to search a couple females.
All right, so in that video, he calls for Kelly Hellenson, who is supposed to do a search because this Texas state trooper thought that maybe he smelled some marijuana on these two women.
Yeah. Oh my God, he smelled some marijuana.
It is a very serious case. I mean, we got possible cigarette butts thrown out the window.
See how now they're going down the right track so far, but watch.
And then he thinks he might have smelled marijuana. So obviously, this allows them the authority to grope these women.
No, it doesn't allow them the authority.
In all their private parts.
Okay, so yes, Hellison...
Yeah, so this cop smells weed. That justifies this lady sticking her fingers up the girl's you-know-what. Both sides, doesn't change gloves. What a disgusting human being. She shouldn't even be allowed to be on... She should be in a cage. That's where she should be, and that's where she belongs. Both of them cops.
Put on her glove, and then she proceeded...
Gloves, not glove.
To search the two women, Angela Dobbs, 38, and her niece, Ashley, 24, and she, puts her hand in their genitals, basically, to see whether or not they're hiding any marijuana. In fact, let's look at the next tape, and it shows it in a little more detail.
Grabbing the boobs. Look at her digging in her ass. You see that?
This has been an eye-opening experience for me, okay? Never been pulled over, never searched like this. It's just,
First time she gets pulled over.
I was like totally violated over there a few minutes
Violated, more like raped.
ago.
Look, I'm not sure I'd allow the cops to do that if I thought there was a gun on him. Like, some chance of a gun on him, right? Well, actually, if they had a gun on him, then they'd have all the rights in the world.
Oh, there we go. Now it's time to attack guns. See, they were going good. Now they're going to start attacking guns.
No, but that's the part of the story that I'd actually like to talk about the most. It's amazing that we're constantly being searched. We're constantly having our privacy
Anyway, sorry about that. I had a phone call.
violated.
So carrying on.
No one gives a crap about that. But once you talk about sensible gun regulations,
Sensible. So Anna Kasparian probably never shot a gun in her life, or she's completely scared of them because guns jump up and shoot people. So she decides what is sensible. Semi-automatic rifles, to her, it's sensible to ban semi-automatic rifles and use the buzzword assault, because you can't assault anybody with any weapon. Certain weapons are assault weapons. I could assault you with a BB gun. I can assault you with a knife. I can assault you with a 22. I can assault you with a revolver. When you hear the word assault, that's just a buzzword used by people like this.
it's not banning guns, but sensible gun regulations. Let's get rid of assault rifles. How about
Oh yeah, let's get rid of assault rifles. What the fuck is an assault rifle? This girl is so stupid. An assault rifle, what she thinks is an assault rifle, is basically a hunting rifle shaped like a military rifle. This is how stupid and ignorant they are when it comes to what guns are. So she's basically saying ban 90% of rifles, not assault weapons, because an assault weapon is a buzzword. Oh, here we go again. Okay, so it just shows you their ignorance on guns.
let's do that. That's the most simple,
That's the most simple, dumbest thing you could do is disarm more people.
common sense thing you could do. People
It's not common sense, dumbass. Stop being stupid. Stop being willfully ignorant. An assault rifle, the meaning of assault is to assault someone with your hands, with a gun, with a hammer, with a knife. Stop using assault as a buzzword. The rifle you are describing is a semi-automatic rifle, just like any other hunting rifle. It's just shaped different, and it looks scary to you because you're scared, and you're a little ninny.
freak out. We don't like to have a good conversation, a real conversation about guns. But when it comes to
It's not a real disarming victims is not a real conversation.
having random people or state troopers put their hands in our vaginas, that's totally fine.
No, actually, that's not totally fine. And people, for real American patriots and gun owners like me, find it disgusting that what these troopers did, and all the more reason to have a Second Amendment. Because if they're going to stick their fingers in your ass and your cooch, what do you think what's going to stop them from coming in your home? What's going to stop them from raping your daughter? What's going to stop them from raping you? Only the Second Amendment can put a stop to that. Only more guns and more protection for the innocent. Don't be stupid. Don't be ignorant. You're doing it willfully, or you're really just that ignorant. Is shocking to me. You're saying to disarm the victim. We need less people to be able to defend themselves against rapists and cops like this.
Yeah, and so even in an airport, if they think you don't go through the scanner and they're going to do the search, they're like, look, man, we got to search the whole thing because we're worried that you might do a bomb, you might have a bomb on you and blow up the plane. They use the back of their hands, they're careful, They do this. Now, they shouldn't do that either, right? In this case, she's just diving in there, feeling her ass, her breasts, etc. What? For, oh my God.
Shocker, an armed woman is sticking her hand, penetrating women's asses, not changing gloves, penetrating their vagina, not changing gloves, and they have a gun on their side. Now, don't you think that those girls are scared because two people with guns are there sticking their fingers in their body? Two people with guns? Only the police should have guns, right? Only the police should have semi-automatic assault pistols. Why do the police have semi-automatic assault pistols, Jank and Anna? Why do the police have semi-automatic assault pistols? Don't you think these women were scared because the police had semi-automatic assault pistols? Come on, these two, I mean, the TYT, they fucking aggravate me. See, they started off good. They started off good by saying what the cops did were wrong, and right away they tied into how we can get rid of guns. Meanwhile, the two people with guns in this situation were the cops, and they were violating these women and contaminating and cross-contaminating. Oh my God. Sometimes I want to punch these two. They got it like half right. They started off right, and then they ruined it. And then he goes on to say that it must have been sexual. So there's your young Turks BS about guns again. If they only knew what they were talking about. All right, thanks for watching John Felix Report. See you, bye.